Hey guys, it's summertime out, which means a lot of AC work, and I had a reason to want to do this video. This keeps coming up, and it's on my mind, and I want to share it with you. And we're gonna do it quick and hopefully in one take because I don't have any editing software at the moment. My machine is out for my computer is out for a rebuild, and I don't have it back yet, so I have no video editing software. So I'm shooting this with my phone. We'll do it in one shot. You're going to stare at my ugly face for a minute while we discuss this. Some of the challenges that techs face is trying to educate customers on certain topics, whether it be oil changes or maintenance or the hows and whys of what gets done when, right? A good tech wants an educated consumer. I like my customers to understand what it is that I did to their car, rather than just go home and go, I don't know, he did all this some work and it cost a whole lot of money. Right? I'd rather them be somewhat educated. I know it's confusing, but I try. So, with that in mind, sometimes to have this conversation with customers about, well, when it comes to, let's say, AC work, this is the hows and whys of how it works, and you have to have that conversation with every single person. So I'm going to do this video that hopefully it'll educate some people, a lot of people in one shot, so I don't have to repeat myself 1,000 times, but I will if necessary. When it comes to AC work, two things that make me cringe. One is, can we just top it off? Ugh. And two is, I'm going to turn this around because I don't want to bash the company, it's not their fault. But these things, in my opinion, should be illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to buy them, sell them. Here's the reason why. When you use this can, it's got a weight on it. But is that the weight of the whole can or just the contents of the can? Are you getting the whole contents in the car? They give you this silly little gauge that only tells you pressure. Here's the problem. Let's go back to the beginning. When you charge an AC system in any car, it's done by weight. You put a certain amount of weight of refrigerant in the car. There's a label. It tells you how much weight to put in. It doesn't tell you how much pressure to put in. It tells you how much weight to put in. You put a certain amount of refrigerant in weight. It's weighed on a scale. Whether you use a regular scale, you use a recycling machine, however it's done, it's a weight. You put it in. And with the correct amount of weight, it should produce a certain amount of pressure. Makes sense, right? High and low side pressure. Here's where all the problems come in. And no particular order. This is only going to check low side. You're hooking it up and you're putting this stuff, cover the name, you're putting this stuff into the low side. You're pulling the trigger, you're letting refrigerant go in. How much refrigerant did you put in? I don't know. Until the gauge said so. But the gauge is just telling you pressure. It didn't tell you how much weight. How much did you start off? How much was in there before you started? I don't know. That's why topping off, when it feels like, well, I just top off my AC, I have an issue with it. There are conditions where it can be done safely. That's a whole nother topic. But the problem is, no matter what, topping off, using these cans, whatever shortcut method you want to take, we don't know how much is in the car to start. Can't be 100% sure how much we actually put in when we're done, other than to say the gauge is somewhere where it's supposed to be, but that's still, now you're creating other problems. Maybe you're blowing cold, but it's undercharged, which is making the compressor work harder than it's supposed to, and you're going to have premature failure. Or it's overcharged. Same issue, right? Too much weight creates. I can get the same amount of pressure with different amount of volume. If the car calls for 1.5 pounds, I'm pretty certain I can put anywhere from 1 pound 2 ounces to 1.10 ounces, 12 ounces, and still get the right pressure. But my weight is wrong, which means the compressor isn't working the way it's supposed to. It's either working too hard or it's being strained because too much refrigerant. Hoping that makes sense, right? Even in an empty system, even if somebody says, well, I know my system was empty, it blew a line, and this is really for the DIYers. I said, well, I blew a line, I bought the line, I put the line in, I know the system's empty. But it's not empty. If I take a bottle and it's open and I put the top on it, is it really empty? No, it's got the same volume of air. It's got air inside of it, right? It's full. It's not empty, it's got air. I had it open, I put the top on, it's full of air. That's the problem. Your system, if you blow a line, a compressor, or whatever component, you put the component in, and then you just bolt everything up, it still has something in there. It's got atmospheric air in there, which is very bad. And it's got moisture in there also. You need to evacuate it. You need to pull it into a vacuum. 29, 30 inches of vacuum removes all the moisture, removes all the atmospheric air, leaves nothing. Now you have nothing in there. Now you can put a weighted charge in and follow it up by checking to make sure you have the proper pressures, knowing you have the right amount of refrigerant in the system. That's the way it's supposed to be done. That's why these things are a bad idea. That's why topping off most of the time is, like I said, there are times if you have a customer you just charged it and it came back and it's starting to blow warm, but it has some pressure in there, and you maybe want to add a couple ounces with some dye so that you can recheck it later on. I get it. There are specific reasons where topping off may work, but as a blindly customer comes in, hey, it was blowing cold, now it's blowing kind of cold, can you just top it off? Bad stuff. And the last problem, you go and put this stuff in, I have no idea what's in this can. Like, it says 134 synthetic refrigerant, and it's got all kinds of booster stuff in it and stop leak, and what am I going to do with that? You guys that have refrigerant machines, you're going to damage it. That's why you need refrigerant identifiers. Now you have to evacuate it into a different container. You can't reuse it. I don't know what this is. It's Joe Schmo refrigerant. Again, not to talk bad about the company, but I don't know what other products they put in here or how where this came from, as opposed to what they call virgin refrigerant, clean, nothing in it, no additives. It's just R134 or 1234YF, whatever the refrigerant type is. So that's my lecture. This has gone on long enough. These are a bad idea. Educate your customers, and if you are the customer, you are the DIYer, this is why they're bad. Bring it to the shop, let them troubleshoot it. Even if you want to go home and DIY it yourself and do your own condenser or whatever, bring it back to the professional, let them evacuate it and charge it. Put an oil charge, put the right amount of oil back in it with a dye shot maybe, so leak detection dye, and that's fine. But get it done right. And that's my education part of the day. And I'm sure I'll have to repeat this to about 3,000 more people before the end of my career. But that's okay. I hope everybody's doing well. Stay cool. It finally cooled down around here. It was real hot for a couple days. And hopefully my new machine will be built soon. My nephew is building it for me, custom machine for video editing. Thanks, pal. Get on it. I need it back. And maybe I'll do a walkthrough of my new machine when I get it. He's reusing the case and he's reusing the power supply and some fans. Saved me a couple dollars, but everything else is going to be brand new and up to speed and up to date. And woohoo! So guys, thank you. That's my message today. I hope it made sense. I hope I didn't ramble on too long. Thank you, everybody. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.